Special. It's my 5th world title in the 100, so it's definitely special, and I'm doing it 35. Yes, I said 35. So I'm grateful for that. You know, I've always just trusted myself and my coach and believed in my abilities. And once I'm healthy, I'm gonna compete.
And how about the clean sweep by Jamaica? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it was definitely something on the cards. You know, I'm glad that I was the one who finished first in the sweep, so I'm glad for that. And I'm glad that, you know, the other ladies were able to come through and were able to celebrate a 1, 2, 3. And one thing that I would also like to say, all 3 of us are coached by 3 different individuals in Jamaica, and it just speaks to the depth that we have. And if you're in Jamaica, you know, if you decide you want to go anywhere, it can happen, you know, and I'm grateful for that.
Shelly, 5-time champion. What is the secret behind your drive and your hunger, and who are some of the persons that you'd like to give credit to?
The secret behind my success is I'm a competitor. I love to compete, and I believe that God has given me a gift, and I somehow feel special, you know, and I always want to compete and show the work that I've been doing, and I'm hardworking, I'm driven, and I'm always hungry to do more because I believe there's more to be done, you know, and I definitely believe I can run faster, and once I have that belief, I'm not going to stop until I do.
How do I move up? How do I be aggressive and try to get a medal? So definitely a mentality change.
These events are dominated by East African nations, but there's an American in the mix. His name is Grant Fisher from Michigan, and he's staying with them. Josh Cheptegei leads. Can the young American go? And Mohammed is there as well. Here comes Fisher. Fisher's got something left. He's taking the fight. Josh Cheptegei looks like he's got this world championship. It might be a little too far for Grant Fisher. He's not giving up though. Cheptegei wins.
Can't be too disappointed with 4th place, but
what's your level of confidence with 400 to go?
I was tired, but I felt like I could kick with those guys. You know, I was tired, but I could tell everybody else was tired too. The pace was honest. It wasn't enough to get rid of everybody, but it wasn't slow enough that the whole field was there. So, yeah, I was confident. You know, it was a big confidence shift from a year ago in Tokyo. I think in Tokyo I was just trying to survive as long as I could and then see what I could do if I was there with a lap to go. And this time I was there with a lap to go and thought, you know, how do I navigate this? How do I move up? How do I be aggressive and try to get a medal? So definitely a mentality change. But yeah, hopefully can carry some motivation into the 5K.
Or a feeling that you belong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, before Tokyo, I would say I looked up to a lot of these guys. Thought they were on another level than me, and I feel like I'm in a position where, you know, I can mix it up with them. I can attack those guys, and you know, maybe there's a little more mutual respect now. I can you know, assert myself a little more, and yeah, it's definitely a mentality change. I do feel like I belong and getting close.
Do they recognize you now? They're like, oh, that's the American that's 5th plus yet.
Maybe. You'd have to ask those guys. I don't want to assume anything, but
or two, and something to still work on, and I think it's pretty cool to kind of feel the way that I do about my own race and feel a little bit bittersweet.
Who will be the world champion at the end of these 1,500 meters? For the last 6 world championships, 6 different nations have been crowned world champion. Will it be Gudaf Tsegay? We'll find out.
Lee, everyone expects this final to be super hot, and it is because of Gudaf Tsegay. She takes the lead. She likes to run evenly. She likes to run aggressively, and every single woman in this field said they were hoping for a fast pace, but they were relying on this woman to put her heart out on the line and take this field out. 29-1 at the 200. This is going to be fast.
My goodness. 2 Ethiopians at the front with Faith Kipyegon, and in blue and white, that's Laura Muir of Team Great Britain. There are 2 Americans in this field, Sinclair Johnson and her teammate Corey McGee. There they are. And there's already a breakaway on this opening lap.
Heading into the race, I assume you expected to be fast. What were you thinking in the race, and what was your game plan?
I expected to be fast. I think all of us in that second pack want to be where they're at, and so I think it's a little bit frustrating that all of us weren't there. We want to be able to compete with them. I didn't know it was going to go. I obviously didn't know it was going to go out as fast as it did, but we got to be ready for it, and so that's kind of the level that we got to get at some point.
So do you have any idea like what your splits were at the beginning?
No, I just knew they were fast. Yeah.
So is it hard a little bit? Is it mentally a little challenging to kind of think, wow, we're way back here? Like, you know, you're probably dreaming of a medal, right, when you started on the start line.
At first, but I think, you know, you're 300 into a race, like anything can happen from that point on. So I think I was just trying to tell myself, like, okay, somebody will come back, someone will come back to us, and obviously that didn't happen. But I think, yeah, you really have to stay positive in that moment and not get so caught up in just like, okay, the race is over. You know, it's like we still have so much left of the race to go.
One of them did come back, actually.
Yeah, one did come back. So
what's the mileage up to?
I've been most weeks 170 to 180 miles.
Bashir Abdi of Belgium. Cam Levins, a fighting fourth. Wow, so near yet so far. Cam Maror is back, fifth to him. Tura in sixth place.
Canadian record. How do you feel about everything?
I mean, it's the race of my life. I had a really incredible build-up. I learned a lot from the Olympics last year when the last finishers there. I just realized I need to be better in every conceivable way as an athlete. So everything had gone right. This is probably the first World Championship that I was like, I couldn't have done anything more coming into today. And so when I was there late in the game, I was like, I deserve to be here. And I want a medal, I'm gonna medal. Just barely missed it, but I gave everything I could.
Yeah, I mean, normally fourth place is like the worst position, but you're pretty happy with that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said last year, I was 70-something to fourth. It's a pretty big improvement. If I do any better in the future, I'm medalist. So
you said you had to get better in everything. So what did you change? What specifically?
I'm running more miles than ever. I'm lifting better than ever. I'm taking on harder workouts, doing double workout days as well. Just like anything I could think of, I took on more of and tried to do higher quality. And I mean, I've still got more quality to gain out of it, but as far as workload goes, I don't think I can do anything more than I am right now.
So what's the mileage up to?
I've been most weeks 170 to 180 miles, so I'm run loss.
Wow, incredible. So at the start line, what were you expecting today?
My workouts were making me think I could run 205 to 206 range, so I was kind of just thinking like, you know, if the pace goes out any faster than 258 kilometers, like I should sort of back off and stay in at least 258, 3-kilometer range, because that's really comfortable for me.
I was probably going to be last or near the back, so I knew that that was what I needed to change. There was no point in being so good at eights.
In the mix on this final lap, there's some pushing and shoving. Jake Whiteman pushes his way through. Here comes Team GB's Whiteman.
Nobody could have predicted this. Ingebrigtsen needs to squeeze. This is what he does. He's not known as someone who flips a switch. He squeezes and has a long draw out.
He had a quick look up at the screen. Look at Jake Whiteman go. The 28-year-old British runner is leading this pack on the final lap. This would be a massive upset. There's only been one British world champion at 1500. That's Steve Cram, and Steve's here in the building. He's commentating. He'd be screaming right now. It's Great Britain against Norway. Jake Whiteman is about to cause a massive upset, and he has. Great Britain has only its second world champion at 1500, and it is a shock. Jake Whiteman has rocked the athletics world and is a world champion.
Unbelievably, he looked shocked. No one was thinking he was going to win this, but he has looked good all season. He has been confident. He has progressed throughout the rounds here.
Yeah.
328, 329 races. Can you tell me when and where was that conversation? What do you remember about that?
I was in the dining hall of the village, and it was probably 2 hours after I'd raced. I was a bit all over the place because like Tokyo was very, very gutting for me. I went into it feeling like I could get a medal, and to finish 10th, I felt I was just, it wasn't even like, at the time I thought 10th, like 10th or 4th, whatever happened, like if I'm not a medalist, it doesn't matter, but 10th was just such a gutting place to finish when I felt as though I should have been at least like 4th, 5th, 6th, because I wasn't good enough for a medal. So I just knew that I was probably like if one of the best 800-meter runners in the field. If we all ran a 5K, I was probably going to be last or near the back. So I knew that was what I needed to change. There was no point in being so good at 8s that if I'm never going to get the chance to use it. So I did a 10K, I did a cross race, which I didn't really want to do. And then those 3K indoors was like my big step to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone and do that strength-based stuff that I was lacking. You see those guys like Josh, Jakob, Cherry, like all of them could run a good 5K, whereas I knew I couldn't. So there wasn't much to change. There was just a few gaps to fill, and a combination of that and then coming into the season and racing those quick races more, because I think I didn't get the opportunity to run like that last year. So Oslo really opened my eyes as to how much work I probably needed to do, because I was a long way off Ollie and Jakob there. But the work I did between then becoming British champion and then the few weeks in Colorado Springs just to get a little bit more under my belt, I was confident that I was in a better place, but you never know where that's going to be still. I knew through the rounds that I felt good, so I just hoped that I was in contention for a medal, like, let alone the win.
At the end of the day, the finish line that won the medal, whoever did it first.
Has Marvin Bracey beaten him to the title? I think Curly might have just done it. Curly's done it. And it is all gold here for Fred Curly. And
now you're here. 100-meter gold medalist. How's that feeling?
I walked on at junior college. I said I was going to do some great things at junior college. I speak crazy things, and I think I'm still speaking crazy things. And I feel like the air is up, and I feel like I still got work to do. The job's not done, and I got to continue to do great things to provide for my future for generational wealth.
Do you really think that those are crazy things? I mean, you're making them happen, right?
It's crazy things to the people around me. It's not crazy things to me. So just like you got to think of crazy things to do, and then let the fans or the audience or the social media predict, oh, that's not going to work. But at the end of the day, if you believe in yourself, I got to this point and I believe in myself and I'm a world champion.
Talk to me about the relationship with your coach, Alain Francis. You've been with him for a while, right? What is that relationship like?
Well, he's crazy. I'm crazy. I think we work good together.
My mom was like, you shouldn't cry. And I was like, no, let her cry, because then she won't want to lose again, you know? And for a long time, I think.
That instinct to want to win, like, was that when you were 10, 12?
Yeah,
like,
no,
before
for sure.
then?
Yeah, I started running when I was 7, and I won that season. I think my next year I was 8, and I was the younger of the 2 age groups, and I lost, and I bawled, you know? And my dad had to run down. I was inconsolable because I just wanted to win, and so for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be the best. It definitely comes from my dad, who I think has always wanted to be the best too, and everything that he's done. And you know, and when I remember the first time I cried, my mom was like, "You shouldn't cry," but I was like, "No, let her cry, because then she won't want to lose again." You know, and for a long time, I think that has kind of given me that kind of winners and killer instinct has come from I was a young kid.
How do you decipher between like the hate to lose and the will to win?
That's a good question. I think they both energize the other one. I think for me, a lot of times when I'm racing at the end of the race, I say I refuse to lose. I refuse to lose, and that kind of pulls me forward. And then of course that energy to win is what inspires me to be great. So I think they kind of feed off the other one. And I think for me, in the moment, it's a desire, it's a refusal to lose that allows me to want to be my best, and that desire to win kind of helps me in my training, you know, to go after and want to be the best.
And along those lines, like self-talk. Do you talk to yourself on the line and in the race, and and that's something you've just learned to do over the years?
Yeah, I've learned how to talk to myself in a positive way, something that inspires me and pushes me forward. But I mean, as I'm sure you're aware too, self-talk sometimes is negative, and you have that monkey chatter that you have to kind of always shield yourself from, because that also that's dangerous, slippery slope. So I've worked on trying to stay positive and telling myself positive things on the line. I'm prepared to be here. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength, and I'm a champion, and all those things help me to give my best in the meets.
What is it that you do differently, you think, that has resulted into your success over the years?
People who ask me that, I tell them that I believe that the main difference between myself and most other people, or people I've observed in this in life, is that I never believe that I'm right. Okay. And, even at anything I believe now is only temporary. You know, but I know it's going to be wrong, and it will be proven wrong at certain points in time. You know, so you're always seeking to better what you do now, because of the feeling, of the knowledge that, okay, what you have been doing so far is total rubbish, no matter what the results have been.
Okay.
Right?
So you're always open to learn.
Always learning, always changing, always always thinking about improvement.
Yes.
About changes.
So you're never satisfied with.
No.
Yeah.
You know, so
for any like upcoming high schoolers that are trying to get to where you are, but they haven't had the talent that you have to push them through.
I mean, if you put your mind to anything, you can do it. Just work at it every day. That's what I did. I wanted to run fast times, so I going to practice, just working hard, and then time started dropping. So yeah, I say just work hard and practice.
You've had a lot of attention on you since you were early in your teenage years, and you've delivered on all of that potential and more. I'm wondering, how have you been able to do that? There's a lot of teen phenoms who flame out, who can't handle the attention and pressure. What's allowed you to succeed?
Number one, I would say, is my faith. Just understanding that it's not about me. I've been given a gift and a platform, but it's not for my own glory, and I think that's helped me stay out of a lot of things that could get me into trouble. Number two, I would say, is my support system. I have great people around me, just making sure that I'm staying on the right path of what I know is tried and true. And three is just my self-control of just understanding that there's a big platform where people from all over the world can access you. And I limit my social media, I limit how much I'm on those things, because ultimately they cannot help me when I get on that line.